I'm Haley Taylor, and you're listening to the Rough Draft Diaries. This week on the Rough Draft Diaries, you'll meet the owners of the nonprofit organization Nightingales Harvest.
Okay, my name is Lisa Kronbach Eisenbach, and I am the CEO of Nightingales Harvest, which is a family pantry and resource center for all cancers, all ages.
I'm Ken Eisenbach. I'm Lisa's husband, and I volunteer at Nightingales Harvest.
Nightingales Harvest is a free pantry that provides food, toiletries, and resources to families affected by cancer. And Lisa mentioned this multiple times. It doesn't matter how old you are or what kind of cancer you have, whether you're the patient or the caregiver, the pantry is open to your needs. Now, along with Ken and Lisa, there's one more person who was involved in creating Nightingales Harvest. She was actually the main reason the organization got started in the first place, so it's important we start with her. Her name was Kim, and she was Lisa's best friend.
Kim Mardini and I were best friends. Our kids were good friends. We took vacations together. She was just a fabulous person. She came down with stomach pain, went into the emergency room. They thought it was a bowel obstruction. At 3:30 in the morning, they found that she was losing blood quickly. They scheduled surgery, and she came out of that surgery fine, however, was diagnosed with colon cancer stage 4.
The first person Kim called was Lisa. Lisa at the time was working as a nurse in a family practice, and she planned to meet Kim as soon as she could get off work, but that meant she had to wait. And she didn't want to wait, so she did something quite drastic. She quit.
So I left, I resigned. I did not call my husband until later, on my way there, told him what I did. He said, "Do you have a plan?"
And I said, we'll talk about it when you get home. Let's come up with a plan for maybe a year and a half, see if we can do this and help Kim out.
Kim started in 2010, November 14th, she was diagnosed. 2011, January, she started her chemotherapy. We just worked through all the chemo and whatever else had to be done. I think she was really scared. And of course, going into cancer of any kind, cancer just is not prejudice at all.
Ken and Lisa needed to make a game plan to make things work for them and for Kim. So the first thing they decided to do was to start cutting coupons for their family and for Kim's.
We started cutting coupons from the start. Whatever we spent, we gave Kim the extra. And then Lisa was Kim's chemo buddy. So every time she come back from chemo, she had all these stories about, I met this person and I met this person. So pretty soon it was Kim plus another family, Kim plus 3 more families. Up and down, we had all the stock in our basement, up and down the steps.
Ken and Lisa became coupon experts as the pantry in their basement grew larger and larger. When Ken, Lisa, and Kim realized they were supporting over 15 families, they knew something had to be done.
So that's when we looked at Kim and said, how about we start a nonprofit that helps cancer patients come into a kitchen that's more like a family kitchen, and it looks like a family kitchen, like you're going into your own house. They get to open cupboards and freezers and refrigerators and take what's unique to their palate and texture. And Kenny went, "This is a great idea." And I said, "Kim, what do you think?" And Kim said, "It's a great idea. I think this will work."
And it did. Nightingales Harvest began in May of 2011 and has only grown since then. They are now located not in a basement, but in the kitchen space of the Lutheran Church of Our Savior. They have board members, volunteers, a delivery service for those who can't visit the pantry. They get food donations from local area businesses, schools, and churches, and they now serve over 3,000 families in the Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan area. Nightingales Harvest has changed dramatically in the past 6 years, and Ken and Lisa's only regret is that Kim was not able to see that growth firsthand.
She made it to 2 days after our first birthday, and she passed away. So she crossed over, and she's been with us ever since. Every time I think something's going wrong, or I think there's not going to be enough food on the table for everybody, something magical happens.
We get donations, we're out of toilet paper or something. All of a sudden, here comes a corporation that did a toiletry drive or something. And it's just amazing how it just keeps falling into our lap sometimes.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm just going to say it's a God thing, because I moved very quickly and I moved passionately, and Kim meant so much to me. She was my best friend. She meant so much to me, and there was no way I was going to let her take this avenue alone. So, you know, I would have done anything. Anything.
So this story of Nightingales Harvest really begins and ends with Kim. Even the name itself, Nightingales Harvest, was inspired by Kim.
Florence Nightingale being a nurse, and then Kim was all about the outside harvest, gardening, what have you. So just kind of combined Nightingale Harvest.
They used to call Kenny and I the Nightingale Duo. So Kim said, if you're the Nightingale Duo, let's call it Nightingales. And so I want Harvest, so it became Nightingales Harvest.
I'm Haley Taylor, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries. Ken and Lisa's choices for the next episode include...
Really like to nominate Ann Puzzlement. The second person would be Roger Green, and there's a group called Aspiring Hands. So one of those three I think would be your best bet.
You'll have to tune in next time to find out who I pick on the Rough Draft Diaries.